Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. Today I am here with an unhaul that I haven't even started yet, really. We're going to do an unhaul vlog. Books Nest, Beth over at Books Nest, my fellow Beth, she does similar vlogs to this, like unhaul vlogs, where I think she kind of, probably similar to me, has an idea of what she wants to unhaul but hasn't actually gone round and got it off her shelves yet. I'm going to do that. I'm going to consider by shelves, shelf by shelf, and do an unhaul with you guys, taking you around my room. This is desperately needed. I have books overflowing on these shelves and I could really do with clearing up some space on my shelves. So this is what we're going to do. I feel like every year or 6 months maybe I get to a point, I don't know about you guys, but like I get to a point where I'm looking at stuff on my shelves and thinking, I read that a while ago, I don't really feel the need to keep it. Maybe I read it in the past 6 months and it just isn't something I feel the need to keep, or it's been another like year or 6 months of having it on my shelf and I'm not really feeling the need to keep it there anymore. So I've just like reached that point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to let this go. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at every single shelf in this room, which is all of the ones behind me. There's a trolley here, there's a few shelves up there, although I don't think anything's going off those, and there's some over here. So I don't know how quickly or well this is going to go, or how this is going to be filmed. We'll find out. I do have a couple here that I need to, that I've kind of gathered in the past 6 months or so. There's also some behind the camera that I'm not going to show you because I think I've shown them in a previous unhaul, but don't hold me to that, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not going to talk about those, but I will talk about these because I've just been like gathering them for the past few months. So I will give you a very brief reason of why I'm unhauling them, but I won't go into many details. This one I pre-ordered the hardback and then I got proof, and I don't feel the need to keep the hardback as well because I have a matching proof of the first one and the second one. So I don't feel the need to keep both. This one I needed to make space on one of these shelves, and I decided that I'm probably not going to reread this again. I struggle with these shelves because the hardbacks on them are so pretty and look so lovely together, and they all match. Not match, but they look very similar. They're the same like size, they're very pretty together, so I struggle with those shelves, unhauling anything off them, but I needed to swap something in, and I'm not going to read this again. I love this cover though. I did enjoy it, just not enough to know I know I'm not going to reread it. These are okay, I liked them, but I know I'm not going to reread them, and if I was going to read the third one, I'd just read it on audio because I think I listened to both of these, or at least one of these in the end. So I don't feel like I'm going to own the third one if I do even finish the series, so I'm going to unhaul those. Then there's a couple like, seasonal reads that I feel like I'm probably not going to pick up again. The only real like seasonal like witchy read I have kept is the XX. I quite enjoyed that one. It was probably the first like Halloweeny one I read. This one's not really seasonal. I enjoyed it enough, but I don't feel the need to keep it. This one is part of a series, and I think I unhauled Payback's a Witch a while ago. And this is the third one, I think. I don't even think this is the second one, but I did read this. I just don't feel the need to keep it. 10,000 Doors of January, a proof that my friend Amy gave me years ago. Again, I don't feel the need to keep it, and it's a really awkward size, and I'm not a big fan of the spine either. So I think if I was going to own this, I'd just get a standard paperback. I did enjoy this, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to because apparently it's very similar to Addie LaRue, which is my favourite book. I think I gave it a 4-star in the end, so it wasn't like my new favourite book. Then I have Proof of Think Again by Jacqueline Wilson, which I have 2 of somehow, but I will obviously find a friend who wants to read this and pass it on to them because I somehow ended up with 2 of them. Thank you to the publisher. And then I also have this this box set of Percy Jackson books. I read 3 and decided not to continue. Courtney did the same and then passed them to me. And then I did the exact same, and I think I'm going to unhaul them here because I don't necessarily feel the need to carry on with them. That was meant to be a video of me reading the Percy Jackson books, but life happened and I wasn't in a great place partway through, so I stopped recording that video and never continued. And now I'm like, I don't want to carry on, so I won't carry on. So there's 5 books there that are going, and then we're going to go through all of my shelves. I'm going to leave those on my bed so I can count how many I'm unhauling. I am going to go up there first and look at the top of the shelf. I don't think there's much up there that I'm going to unhaul because that stuff is like series, but there is a couple of things that I don't necessarily feel the need to keep anymore. So we're going to do that first, and then I will show you what I get down from up there. Okay, the first ones are my tour editions of the Sarah J Maas Crescent City, first 2 in the Crescent City series, and A Court of Silver Flames. I feel like a lot of people are doing this at the moment. I don't think they're going to carry on making these. House of Flame and Shadow came out and they didn't make one for House of Flame and Shadow. I'm not a massive fan of this one anyway. I feel like I just got it because of the set. So I'm not really bothered about keeping the Silver Flames one. I really like these. I love the way they did the designs. I think they're beautiful. But I know they're highly sought after. I will probably sell them anyway. And I just don't feel the need to keep them, especially if they are not going to continue with the series. So these are going to go. And it also frees up some much needed hardback space on the top of my shelves, so I think that's more important than me holding on to those, which are already duplicates of other pretty hardbacks I already have. I did also get down these. I have so many copies of this series, which is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. Some of them are over there, some of them are up there, so I'm just going to put them all together and just have another consider about what I want to keep. I have already unhauled a few of these because I had so many editions, and I still already have like 3 sets of them or something. At one point I had like 6 copies of the first book, and I don't love them enough to have that many copies, so I'm just going to have another reconsider about what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of, but we'll do that by getting all of them down and having a look at all of them together. So I'm just going to put these to the side for now. Okay, that's the top done. I think the next bit I'm going to kind of take you closer to the shelves and we'll have a look at the actual shelves together and pull some things off and see where we get to. Okay, this is the first shelf. I think I'm going to pull off that one. I always struggle with getting rid of proofs. Am I going to ever reread Wilder Girls? Probably not. And I think those 2 can go as well, so I will talk you through these when I've probably done this like whole bookcase. Well, nearly fell over there. And I don't think there's anything on that shelf that I'm prepared to unhaul. I also don't think there's anything on that shelf either. This one, I think I'm probably ready to let go of these now. And this one. And then I kind of need to make some decisions about these because I have duplicates of The Adventures of Amina Elsa Raffi, and I have duplicates of Foul Lady Fortune, so maybe I'll consider that when I get to the other books, the duplicates. I think this shelf is probably staying as it is. I don't know if at some point I'll scale down on my Ren James collection, but I think right now I have all of their books, so I don't know whether I want to unhaul any right now, but I wasn't a big fan of this one, so I don't know whether I might do that in the future. But I don't think I need to right now. Maybe I'll look at a list of their books in a minute. Then I think this shelf is staying as is. Same with this one. I don't think there's anything on there that I want to unhaul. And then the bottom, I have a lot of hardback sets. As you can see, and as I said, I have duplicates of Foul Lady Fortune. And I have duplicates of like a lot of Chloe Gong books, and I've never read a Chloe Gong book. So I think one of my plans needs to be to read Foul Lady Fortune, which I think maybe comes after this, so I don't know, maybe I'll just unhaul these actually. Maybe I just need to have a look at that, because I don't feel the need to keep all of those, and I already only have one copy of Foul Heart Huntsman because I stopped collecting these. I think I'll look at those in a minute and make a decision on these. I think this is the standard hardback, but it might be the Waterstones edition. It's very pretty. It's not signed, but I think that might either be like a first printing hardback or a Waterstones edition. And then this is the Fairy Loot edition, which is very pretty as well. I think I just got a bit overexcited about having the like hidden hardbacks. Like, they are very, very beautiful, but I've never looked at them. So I think it's probably, I don't need to keep that. That's going to be the Fairy Loot. And then that is also the Fairy Loot. So I think what I'll do is I will keep the Fairy Loot set and unhaul these two. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, that is the first shelf done. That also gives me a little bit extra hardback space, which is always nice. Okay, we'll have a look at that shelf. Okay, this is the second bookcase. I don't know whether I want to start downsizing my Afterlight set. Maybe considering what I don't want to keep. If so, I don't think I'll keep this one. I wasn't a massive fan. I know I'm getting rid of at least one other Afterlight book, so I think this is, whoops, sorry Mushi. I think this is probably a good time to do that. And I think the rest of the ones are staying up here, although I need to consider this series because frankly I don't think I'm going to reread Carry On. But the first one, I have like the first printing of the hardback and I really like it. I don't really want to unhaul it, but I just don't think I'm going to reread the series, and I think I listen to them on audio anyway, or like listen to the second two on audio. So I'm wondering whether these fairy lights are really in the way since they fell down. They have very pretty sprayed edges, but that is not a reason to keep them. Like, that is beautiful. Okay, and then that is the first edition hardback that I have, which is signed and personalised to me. So I feel like if any, I'd just reread the first one anyway. I don't really feel the need to keep the others. Might actually do that. I might actually unhaul the others, but I've just put them down there to have a look at in a second. Okay, next shelf. Definitely unhauling Ready Player One. Don't feel like I'm going to read that again. And then I think the rest can probably stay. Do I want to keep this? I think I bought this from Daunt Books. Probably not going to reread it, but I don't know. I feel like I have a nice little set here and I don't want to mess with it. And also they're really tiny. They're not really taking up much space, so I'm not too bothered about it. So maybe I'll leave them for now. These I have been umming and ahhing about because as you can see, I'm a big Animal Crossing fan with Amiibo here. But I don't really enjoy these. I don't think I've rated any of them above 3 stars. They are really weird. And there's more out now and I haven't sought them out. And I don't really want to. So I think maybe I just Face the Music and part ways with those. Then this shelf I think is staying as is. I don't think there's anything on there I want to unhaul. These ones at the front are new additions to my shelves, so I'm going to just put you back on the tripod so I can look at the ones behind it, because I know there's some that I do want to consider behind there. Okay, I have pulled some off that shelf, and it pains me to do this, but you know what I was saying about how hardbacks look beautiful together? Like, I don't want to unhaul these, but I also don't want to keep them at the same time. I feel like owning books is always a cycle of like, but I want the space more, or I want the space to be able to buy other things that mean more to me, or would mean more to me, or could be my new favourites. And I currently don't have the space to do that, so I don't know. It always feels like a weird balance, but anyway, I enjoyed this. I mainly bought it because it's absolutely beautiful, and it has a very cute hardback under the dust jacket. It has a reversible dust jacket. I think it's a LitJoy edition, like it's some kind of subscription box edition. It has a letter from the author in here. And I think this is beautiful, but I am not going to read it again. I enjoyed it, but I don't feel the need to keep it. Same with You've Reached Sam, because I forgot I even owned this. So I think that probably means I don't need to keep it. However, that is beautiful. Why do I buy things because they have a pretty under the dust jacket? I never look at them. And then, still not 100% on my set, on my Carry On set. I don't want to unhaul this, but I also don't want it on my shelf. I don't know, like, not wanting it on my shelf is a bit harsh, but they take up a lot of space. I never look at the sprayed edge, however beautiful they are. I'm not going to reread this. I doubt. So it's probably time. Then the other ones, me and Courtney have been talking about this for a while, right? We fell into a trap, which we do, of finding something really pretty, and you love the book, and then you buy all of the hardback Alice Oseman books as they come out, even though you have them all in paperback anyway and you really don't need them. And that's where I am. And I really don't need these in hardback, and now they've brought them out in paperback in these covers, I prefer them in paperback than I do in hardback. The spines, and me and Courtney have both said this, the spines look really mismatched on the hardbacks. They don't look like a set. They look more coherent on the paperbacks. And I also have the old paperbacks, which I love. So I don't feel the need to keep these. So, as much as it pains me, because some of these I bought really recently as well, because me and Courtney just fell into a trap of just pre-ordering them to add them to our collection. And as much as I love them, maybe I'll keep these two. I don't know. I don't need to. I just don't need to. I don't need them in my life as much as I want them. I will keep these because this was a gift from Amy, and it's also the same cover. Slightly different size, but it's a UK collector's edition using the US cover. This one is the Barnes & Noble US cover of Loveless, and I really like it. And it has a shiny spine. So I will keep those. But I don't need to keep all of those. Anyway, let's carry on. Okay, the next shelf, I don't think I need to keep that. I read it recently, I'm not going to read it again. But the rest of them I think can probably stay. I think it's probably the same with this shelf, although for a very specific reason that you will see in another video. I'm going to add that to the pile. And then I think the rest of them can stay here. And then that shelf is definitely staying because it's mainly my Wordsworth editions with a couple of other things. And then the bottom shelf is definitely staying. I've been considering this hardback of A Daughter of Smoke and Bone, whether I want to keep it or not, because I haven't read that set yet, and I also have them in those paperbacks, which I love. But I found that hardback, and I think it's the first edition, and I found it for like £1 in like a charity book sale. I don't really want to unhaul it until I've read it to see if I really like it or not, so I'm just kind of leaving it for now. And we'll see, maybe in the future. Okay, next shelf. We're getting through this quick, that's good. Okay. Don't think there's anything at the top that's going, because it's mainly V. Schwab. Oh, hang on. That's where that book is. I lie. This one is definitely going. I also need to get this down anyway, because I'm going to read it. That's pretty. I need to read for a book club this week. Okay, this one. It's time for you to go. I did not enjoy the audiobook of that. These don't really fit up here, but it's fine. This shelf, I don't think there's anything on here that I want to unhaul. It has some of my favourite middle grades. Again, at some point I will probably like downsize on my Becky Albertalli collection, just because I don't think I'll reread stuff, but I also think I have most of her books and they all match, so I'm reluctant to do that. Okay, next shelf. Again, I don't probably need to keep this one. Now I've read it, that is tight in there. Again, I struggle with these because they're all my HarperCollins proofs and they match. So I don't want to unhaul anything. But I'm also not going to reread that, so I need to read some of these. Okay. This one, don't think there's anything on here that I want to unhaul, but do you see what I mean about how pretty like all of these are? Like, do I need 2 copies of What If It's Us? No. But I think that copy is signed by both of them, so I don't really want to unhaul it. Let's see. If it is, then I'll keep it. Yeah. Oh, it's signed by Adam Silver. Oh no, it's signed by Becky too, and it says thanks for the cake because I made them a cake. I used to do that when I went to book signings. I would make them a cake that looked like the book. Now I can't get this back on here one-handed. I'll do that after. Okay, so I'm keeping that. Do I need to keep this too? Probably not. Is this one signed? Oh, it has a cute card in it. Oh no, it is signed. God damn it, Becky Albertalli. I don't know. Do I just unhaul it? You see what I mean? They just look beautiful together. Like, there's other stuff on here that I probably won't reread. I don't know. But they're some of my favourite YA books, so I don't really... If I want a very specific thing, then maybe I would go back to it. I think I might unhaul my hardback of Felix Ever After, because I have a paperback of it down there that I want to keep. Yeah, this one's not signed. And it's pretty, but doesn't have anything special under the cover. So I think I'll unhaul that one. Do I unhaul What If It's Us? Yes, because there isn't a matching copy of the second book, as far as I'm aware. That's a good reason. Okay. There's Lego on this shelf, so that is awkward to get to, but I also want to unhaul this one, which is right in the middle. Don't fall off. There we go. Gonna unhaul that, and I think the rest of that can stay. The next shelf, we are getting into the ones with like, we've got hidden stuff back here. Which, to be fair, I might unhaul a couple of those. Let me just get something out here to make it easier. I'm going to unhaul this. I was talking to Courtney about this recently and surprised that neither of us had unhauled it, because we both gave it like a 3-star. But like she said, it is hard to unhaul things like this because we read them together on holiday, so they mean a lot. And it also kind of embodies the song. We both really like the song because this is based on the song by Hayley Kiyoko. So I don't want to unhaul this, but I also, again, forgot that I owned it, so I probably don't need to keep it. So I'm going to add that. I'm being ruthless, which I think I am being a bit ruthless here. And then I think I want to unhaul Concrete Rose and On the Come Up, that's a pretty edition. I like to keep The Hate You Give because I feel like that book has quite an important... It's quite a historical book, it feels, but these have both... I have read them both and I did enjoy them both, but I don't feel the need to keep them and I don't think I'm going to reread them. So they can go. What do we have down here? These are more recent acquisitions, so I don't think I'll unhaul any apart from my other Tessa Bailey book that I read and did not like. Oh, and then this can go. Both that book and this book were on my TBR video where I had a self-destruct TBR for a year, and if I didn't read them in a year they were going. And I didn't read them in the year. And although I haven't done a follow-up to that video yet, because the year ended while I was not prepared to make that video, I don't need to keep them. I've heard not great things about this. And I don't feel the need to keep that or read that now. I think it's too young for me. So I think it's going to be too teenage for me to enjoy, if that makes sense. I don't feel the need to keep either of those, so they can go. There is one book on there which I've already talked about in a video today, which was also on that expiration thing and did expire. So I should be unhauling this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give that a shot still. But those two can go. I think the rest can stay. I do need to read. Oh, this can go. I listened to the audiobook of this recently, and as much as it was okay and I liked it, I don't need to keep a physical copy. And then I think the rest can stay, although I am slightly considering... I always consider my copies of like the Night Circus and the Starless Sea because I have so many of them. Whoa, that has some bad sun damage on it. I guess I put that on this trolley when it was in the window, which is not good. Oh, that's personalised. I did not expect that. This is the Illumicrate edition, which is also signed but not personalised. It's very shiny. It's pretty, but I don't know how much of a fan I am of the shiny cover. Maybe I need to keep that one and unhaul this one. Then I have a hardback of the Starless Sea, which is probably also personalised. Yep. And also really sun damaged. Oh dear. And I have proof hardback of the Starless Sea and the Illumicrate edition. Both of these, that's the proof. It's 100 copies. I think Amy gave this to me. Thank you very much. Somebody else gave me this one, which is also sun damaged. And it's signed. I don't know whether I want to haul the Illumicrate editions or... I really like both of these. And I like that this has the 3 things on it. But they are very much the same edition. And obviously I'd much prefer to keep the proof because it's so limited. So I think maybe I'll unhaul this one. Although it is very sun damaged, sorry. Okay. We're getting there. I think there's a couple on here that I am prepared to unhaul. I also need to read this series to decide if I keep the proof or not. I mean, in reality, maybe I'll just unhaul it now because I don't really feel like this is different enough to really want to keep it. So I think maybe I'll unhaul that, and maybe while I'm there, I will do the same for Foul Lady Fortune, because I'm keeping my Fairy Loot edition. See, every time I do this I'm like, but what if I read it and then it becomes like my new favourite book and I want every edition of it ever? But in reality, I have a very pretty edition down there. Okay. And the other ones on here that I'm thinking can go is this one, because I can't find the matching edition of the second one, and that annoys me so much that I don't really want to keep the first one without the second one. And then there's another one on here that I want to unhaul, but it's going to be really awkward to get out. That one. Not going to reread that one. It creeped me out. There was things that I liked because it's set in a Waterstones and I used to work in a Waterstones. But, oh no, I'm showing people their birthday presents. Showing people their birthday presents, so I better not put this video out soon. Okay, those two, they can go on the pile. There's a lot here. Maybe more than I expected. Okay. This shelf I think is staying as is for now. It has a lot of my V Schwab stuff, which I'm just simply never going to want to get rid of. And then it has my Agatha Christie set, which I want to keep, but it really annoys me that partway through doing it, they've started making them smaller. And I don't think I've bought another one since I realised that they were doing that, because it really annoys me. So now I'm going to have like a 2-part set if I carry on buying them. I actually prefer the smaller ones because I think they'll fit in more places. But are they going to redo the others to match? And if so, do I want to bother rebuying them so I have a full set? I don't know. So they're staying as is for now, but I'm not buying any more. That's basically what I'm doing with that. Anyway, almost last but not least, we have this shelf, which I am going to unhaul the manga of Fangirl, the first volume, simply because I never bought the second volume and I'm not that bothered anymore. And then the other things that I'm thinking of is actually my Fairy Loot editions of Heartstopper. As much as I don't want to do this, in a way, I'm starting to think that I don't need to keep these. I really like them, but I actually kind of prefer how the paperbacks look, and they're very pretty, but I don't need them. And then they announced volume 4 and I didn't buy it. And I'm not going to read these. I'm always going to read my paperbacks, so I don't necessarily feel the need to keep both of them. So I think these are going to go. And it gives me some more space too, which I appreciate. Oh, I need to make sure that I'm not automatically unhauling that entire stack. I need to look at those separately. I think the rest of those can stay. Last but not least, we have these shelves, which are next to my bed. You know what? I need to get those out. I'm going to unhaul Emperor of the Vampire and Emperor of the Damned. And then, as you can see, some of my other Stephanie Garber books are here, so I'll get those out in a sec and actually look at them and consider that. And then the only other thing over here I think that I need to unhaul is my other Tessa Bailey book, which has got so dusty in like a month, but I'm not going to reread any Tessa Bailey or read any more Tessa Bailey because they weren't for me. Okay, so I need to get those out. and I need to look at Stephanie Garber, and then we're done. Okay, these, I didn't like Emperor of the Vampire very much, and then I got so caught up in the hype for the second one being announced that I pre-ordered it. It's a Waterstone signed edition. I think it's signed. And I don't want to read it. And I don't feel like I should, just because I feel like... I don't feel like I have to just because I feel like I should, if that makes sense. I think I just need to face facts and realise that I'm not a big fan. And that's okay. I don't have to like it just because everybody else liked it. There we go. Moral for life, I guess. I don't know. So I'm just going to unhaul both of them together. Then the other ones, so the Stephanie Garber ones, I've put them over there and I'm not going to get them again. I have a Barnes & Noble set, which I'm going to keep. I have a UK hardback set, which I'm going to keep. I have a set of the proofs. Do I have all of them? No, I don't have this third one. But I have 2 of the proofs, which is nice. I'm going to unhaul... So the ones I'm going to unhaul... Oh, did I just put one down somewhere? What did I do with it? Oh, I think they're all here. Okay, so I have the Owl Crate editions of both of these 2, which are very pretty, and I love the under dust jacket designs so much. I really don't want to unhaul these, but I just don't need this many copies of this book. That's really pretty, and I think this is purple under. Oh, it's so pretty. Can I bring myself to do it? Yes, I never look at them, and I've not even finished the series, and now books are falling off the bed. There's too many. And then this one is just a spare UK signed, possibly Waterstones exclusive, just because it was spare. And I could put this cover on, which I got as like a pre-order bonus or something for the US edition. I guess I just need to make sure that I keep this copy because it has the fox on, rather than this copy, which I think has the bow. Oh, it's got the book. That's why I have the 2, because I have the book and I have the fox, and now I don't want to unhaul one because I want the book and I want the fox. Damn. Although, you know what's always bothered me about this fox? Kind of looks a bit dead. I didn't mean to get so dark in this video. But he does. Maybe I don't want the fox. It kind of creeps me out a bit. Maybe I'm just trying to like convince myself that I don't need the fox. Yeah. I think I might unhaul the fox. Okay. And then I'll just put this somewhere else on another copy. Maybe on my US copy, Barnes & Noble copy, because that has the same spine. So I can keep that on there. I think in reality, when you live with books for a while, you maybe reach the conclusion that you only look at the spines. And if you don't, if you're not like, if that's not the thing that's making you hold on to it, sometimes it just feels a bit pointless. I don't know, does anyone else feel like that? But anyway, I have quite a big set collection here that I need to now unhaul. I'm going to count them, then I'm going to sort them. Damn. I'm giving myself a lot of work, but this needs to happen. Okay. Let me count them and then I'll show you and we'll come back to this. I promise you I didn't intentionally land on this number, but there's 69 books to get rid of. That did make me feel like I should round it up to 70. And I have found one that I'm not that bothered about keeping, which is The Mercies by Kira Millward-Hargrave. I really like Kira Millward-Hargrave's work, but I don't think I'm going to reread this, so I don't really feel the need to keep this one. It's very pretty though, it has a nice sprayed edge. So that's going to be added to the piles. There's probably a couple of other things that I could maybe consider here, but maybe I'll do another Unhaul at some point soonish in the next couple of months when I've had like another couple of months to consider things. But that's where we're at. I'll show you the pile and then we'll go. Here we go. this is the pile. As I said, I will sort out what I need to sell, what I need to give away, things like that. But damn, there's a lot here. Okay, that was more successful than I expected it to be, and I'm quite proud of how much I've put on these stacks. Now I need to sort them all out, but it's nice that I actually have gaps on my shelves now, which I can like shuffle things over and work everything out. So I'm gonna go and do that, tidy some things up, make some stacks with these, I guess, so I can sort them out. Damn. This was successful. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoy watching Unhaul videos. I find it really interesting what people think they don't need in their lives anymore. And it's satisfying to be able to do this. I feel like I start doing this video and then I'm like, okay, everything can go now, I'm done. Maybe that's what's happened and I need to sit on this for a few days, but right now I'm feeling satisfied. So yeah, I'm gonna put some stuff in the gaps on my shelf, sort everything out. Thank you for joining me for this video. I'll see you in the next one.